Power rarely confronts strength directly. It looks for patterns. Strength invites resistance, patterns invite strategy, force is expensive, anticipation is efficient. Most effective forms of influence do not overpower you, they position themselves ahead of you, not in front of your body, but in front of your reaction. The architecture of anticipation patterns reveal expectation. Expectation creates leverage. Leverage makes force unnecessary. If someone knows how you respond under pressure, they do not need to threaten you. They only need to create the condition that triggers you. This is the foundation of subtle control. Not commands, not dominance, predictability, dash. The illusion of autonomy. Most people imagine control as visible orders, restrictions, obvious hierarchy, but the most effective control feels internal. It feels like choice. When you react predictably, you experience your reaction as self-directed. But if the stimulus was engineered, was it fully yours? Anger follows insult, fear follows uncertainty, desire follows promise. These are not moral weaknesses, they are biological sequences. The mechanical loop: stimulus, emotion, action, push the button, receive the reaction. Because the sequence happens inside you, it creates the illusion of autonomy. You believe you chose the reaction. In truth, the reaction was anticipated long before you felt it. Predictability simplifies the world for anyone attempting to influence it. Complex individuals require negotiation. Predictable individuals require only timing. Emotional habits as control points. Emotional habits are the most reliable patterns humans display. Someone defensive when criticized can be steered with criticism. Someone afraid of exclusion can be steered with isolation. Someone craving approval can be steered with praise. Notice, no force is required. Only understanding. Influence becomes a matter of pattern recognition. And most people unknowingly broadcast their patterns daily. The narrowing effect over time. Predictable reactions create invisible boundaries. You avoid situations that provoke discomfort. You pursue situations that promise relief. Gradually, your world shrinks. Behavior narrows. Options shrink. Predictability increases. The more predictable you become, the less effort is required to guide you. At this stage, influence becomes effortless, not because you lack intelligence, but because you lack variability, readability, and risk. Readability removes uncertainty. Uncertainty is the main barrier to control. If someone cannot anticipate your response, they must proceed cautiously. Caution increases cognitive load. Increased cognitive load reduces manipulation attempts. Unpredictable individuals introduce risk. Systems avoid risk whenever possible. This is why unconventional people often face resistance. Not because they are wrong, but because they are difficult to model. The power of the pause. Unpredictability does not mean chaos. Random behavior destroys trust. Strategic unpredictability preserves coherence while eliminating exploitable patterns. It begins with interruption. Pause when expected to react. Disengage when expected to escalate. Remain calm when expected to explode. This forces reassessment. Reassessment requires effort. Effort reduces incentive to manipulate. Impulse versus assessment. Impulse considers immediate emotion. Assessment considers context, consequence, and positioning. Impulse reacts. Assessment evaluates. Impulse belongs to the stimulus. Assessment belongs to youth. Difference determines whether you guide your life or react to it. Every time you interrupt a reflex, you reclaim authorship. Reputation as shield over time. Deliberate responses build reputation. Reputation shapes expectation. If others expect volatility, they provoke freely. If others expect composure, they hesitate. Composure creates uncertainty. Uncertainty forces caution. Caution slows Aggression, slowed aggression, transfers initiative, determines direction, determines outcome. This chain begins with restraint, quiet. Resistance, open opposition, invites. Force, loud resistance, escalates confrontation. But non-reactivity confuses, confusion. Disperses pressure, requires clarity to function. When your reactions cannot be predicted, attempts at influence lose efficiency, not because you fight, but because you do not activate. Breaking the loop, the more automatic your responses, the less autonomy you possess. Freedom begins when response becomes choice instead of reflex, strategic. Unpredictability means you respond from assessment, not impulse. You choose timing, not stimulus. You evaluate consequence, not emotion. This breaks the loop. The economics of controlled influence, like force, has cost. Predictable individuals are low-cost targets. Unpredictable individuals are expensive. When influence becomes inefficient, it declines over time. Manipulators redirect energy elsewhere. You are not avoided because you are aggressive. You are avoided because you are inefficient to steer. Efficiency governs. Systems become inefficient to control. Strength alone does not determine freedom. Patternlessness does. When no one can anticipate your reactions, no one can reliably guide them. Behavior originates from evaluation, not provocation. Evaluation belongs to you. Predictability is comfortable. Unpredictability requires awareness, but awareness restores autonomy. Break the pattern, reclaim initiative, move from assessment, not activation. Break the pattern, regain direction. Subscribe to PsyArchive to unlock the next psychological file.